Yeah, L'maisa B'Kitzer Rabbi say, we are discussing here the dinim of Haskara. There's Haskara and there's Sheila. There's when we mention rain and then when we ask for rain. Haskara is mentioning, we mention Hashem's koyach, that He has the koyach to uMorid haGeshem. And then there's the inyan Sheila, which is in Baruch Aleinu, where we say Matar, Eibishter, please give us rain. Why do we have two independent dinim? It's because just like we have by Melech Basav Adam, if we need to ask something from the Melech, we first do Meshabeach, and we do Ritzui and Piyus, Mefayisim, and then we ask a request. The same thing, we don't start off right away. The same matter, Eibishter, the same matter. We start off first, Eibishter, you're Gevaldik, you're uMorid haGeshem. It's an unbelievable koyach the rain, what it does and everything. And we talk about this for a while. And after we start Meshabeach the Eibishter, then later on, when it comes to the point where we actually need the rain, we start to ask for the rain. And that Haskara, we start on Shmini Atzeres. The reason we don't start already in the beginning of Sukkot is really Chag HaSukkot. It's the Chag that we're Nidan Amayim. The Mishnah says that we're Dan Amayim. Every Yom Tif, we are judged for something else. There's general judgment Rosh Hashanah, but then there's specific judgments on each Yom Tif. And we are Nidin on Mayim, and that's the Inyan of Nisuch HaMayim, Api Pshat. The Inyan of Nisuch HaMayim on the Mizbeach was Inyan to Ratza, the Eibishter, that we need water, so we pour it on the Mizbeach. As well, the Inyan of the Tilos Dalam Minim, of Api Pshat, Pasha Pshat, not getting into Medrash and into Kabbalah. It's an Inyan of showing Hashem, these plants, Hashem, please, the plants need rain. We're showing Him the plants, and we're asking for rain. So it's everything Be'etzim has to do with the harvest and the rain. And L'maisa, we don't want to start even mentioning it, even though we're asking, we don't want to even start being masked on Sukkot, because on Sukkot itself, even though we're being judged for rain for that year, but we don't want rain on Sukkot because we want to sit in the Sukkah. Yeah. So no one wants rain in Sukkot. So we wait until Shmini Atzeres.
I thought it's because of the time they had a legal regel and the Jews had to go back to travel outside Eretz Yisrael and they have to cross the river.
That's for the Ge'er She'ela.
What?
That's regarding the
Mashiv hoRuach
no,
haGeshem.
No. uMorid haGeshem, everyone starts Shmini Atzeres. Shmini Atzeres, everyone was still in Yerushalayim.
Oh, and yeah,
it takes how many days to go back to Babel?
I thought in those days they didn't do
days?
it. Only we do it now.
I'll explain to you what it was. The Inyan of She'ela was that in Eretz Yisrael they already started to ask for saying Talam Matar. They started on Zayin Chesed. The reason why they start earlier than us is because they need the rain more than us. So in Eretz Yisrael they start earlier. But the shaila is, why don't they just start on Isru Chag already? On Shmini Atzeres we don't say Tfilas Choyel Baruch Aleinu. But why they don't say Baruch Hashem? They could start Isru Chag. That is the reason that you're bringing up, that the Mishnah says because we wait until Achron should be so, the last Jew gets back from the Oil Regel, takes them 2 weeks for the last person, the furthest part of Eretz Yisrael to get back home. So therefore, we don't want to mention rain because it's a klala for these people. Even though the rest of Klal Yisrael already needs rain, majority of Klal Yisrael's home already, but we care about those individuals that were oil regel and mesiras nefesh. We don't want them to be stuck in the rain, so we wait till Zayin Cheshvan to ask for rain. But maskir rain, everyone starts at the same time in Shmini Atzeres.
How come we ask for rain in December? Same time, bro.
We do it.
Why,
60 days later.
Why 60 days? It took only 2 weeks, he said, for the little rebbe.
Oh, that's in Eretz Yisrael because they need rain even right away. They should really mention
Cheshvan.
But we don't need rain right away in outside in Chutz La'aretz. So the season, we wait till later. We don't need rain right away. We wait until later, 60 days from the winter, what's it called, equinox, right?
Yeah, so why did we need rain December 4th? And the equinox.
That's the Zman, the winter. That we're going to learn about by another simon. Mitzvah Shem, we're going to learn about it.
The season in America is totally different.
We are going to learn about it Mitzvah Shem tonight.
And what do you do with the...
So now, now we're learning not about She'ela, Minat. We're going to learn about it. We're learning Siman Kuf Yud about Haskara. We're going, after we finish Yud Yud Aleph, we're going to go in during the Shir tonight. We're going to move over to Kuf Yud Zayin. And we're going to talk about the dinim of She'ela Baruch Aleinu. But now we're finishing up the din of Mashiv hoRuach uMorid haGeshem. Another thing, by the way, we mentioned last week and the week before is that you should know that Mashiv hoRuach and uMorid Hatol are a minig. Chazal were only mechayev to be haskara and sheila, the concept of mentioning ruach, Hashem is Mashiv ruach, or the concept of mentioning the saying tal or uMorid hatol, any mention of tal or ruach, the tal of aruches leichivu chachamim. This is not from Chazal. This is later minhagim, or a kopanim. It's not a chiyuv of Chazal, and these are begeder minhagim. They're not mentioned in Chazal. And different makoimis min Ashkenaz, they don't even say uMorid hatol during the summer. And we are shoyel tal, but be'etzim it's all minhagim. If you missed out any of them, you're not choizer.
But Geshem is different.
Only the words Mashiv ruach. If you missed out the two words Mashiv ruach, you're not choizer. If you missed out uMorid hatol, you're not choizer.
But when we say Mashiv ruach or uMorid haGeshem,
In Chanami, but we put it together. But the first half of that is not a minig. It's not a chiyuv.
but uMorid haGeshem,
Because there's no chiyuv to ask for ruach and tal. Ruach and tal are not as vital as rain.
But so uMorid haGeshem is a chiyuv.
Yeah, uMorid haGeshem is a
You didn't
chiyuv.
say uMorid haGeshem, you gotta go back.
Yes, except the poil mamish, like the poil mamish, we explained that if you said uMorid hatol instead of uMorid haGeshem,
Yeah.
but the evidence okay. But if you didn't say anything,
Yeah.
do you have the minig Ashkenaz not to say uMorid hatol?
Well, I adopted to say uMorid hatol some years ago.
Okay.
It's like a space keeper, this way you don't have to think.
Oh,
That's
so if
my
you say
own-
uMorid
my own
hatol,
mistake.
the Maisa, the reason why the Alter Rebbe explains why many Mekoimis said uMorid hatol
Yeah.
was precisely for the reason in case you forget uMorid haGeshem,
Yeah.
you'll be yoytz b'diavad because your tongue will be used to saying shigur delicious to say uMorid hatol.
I saw
uMorid hatol b'diavad you yoytz instead of uMorid haGeshem. Now, Sif Yud. Hamispalel, someone who davened. The Eini Yedeyim Hiska haGeshem alav. Like we said before, if you forget to say either Mashiv haGeshem or Saint Halamato, you have to be choiz, you have to go back. Chazal will mechayiv you to say this. It's like Yalavayava, you have to go back. Elamai, we only said that if you said uMorid hatol instead, you wouldn't have to go back. But yeah. So now, what happens? He doesn't remember. He doesn't know. Did I say Geshem? Did I not say Geshem? We're not talking about Baruch Aleinu. We're talking about by Machayim Meisim At Gibber. Yeah. At Shloishim Yoyim until 30 days. Chazaka Mashu Lamed Umaskir. Whatever you were used to saying, that's what you said. So since you until now you were used to not saying it, you didn't say it, or you said Mikam ve'elech, from now on, Mashu Tzarech, Maskir. Whatever you need, you're going to mention because you're already used to saying it. 30 days went by, you have now changed your system over. You're used to saying uMorid haGeshem. We assume you said it correctly.
If he doesn't know.
You know that.
You don't know exactly. Only if you don't know. If you know, you know.
You know that famous thing in the Litvisher yeshivas. They used to have a song.
He would
where
say
they
4:30.
go around Simchas Torah and they sing Mashiv,
30 times.
So or 90 times.
Oh, 90 times.
Yeah,
that's
90
right.
times. 3 Shmona Esrei. That way, now they have the Chazaka.
They still do it. They still do this. They still do it.
When I went to school and I had a Rebbe was from the Mir in Europe, so that he told me.
No, in Europe they used to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
It's a good minute.
What was the niggin? How did it go?
I don't
You
know
saw a
exactly,
nigger.
but it's a whole. They talk about it because it's a question with a sharmuot.
Right.
How do you make a chazaka? If a cow goes boom, boom, boom in one day, it's a chazaka or no? It has to be, a few times, like separated. And then they relate it to this thing. Could you sing that song? You made a chazaka? Does that work?
Right. So let's see over here. Now we're going to learn about this shaila.
Okay.
So the ficha, therefore, if during the summertime you have a doubt, maybe up until Pesach you're used to saying uMorid haGeshem, and up until 30 days after Pesach, it's a chazaka that you said it, like you used to a whole winter. So from 30 days until Tesvav we're chayshish. So you need to go back, because another thing we spoke about the weeks before is if you said uMorid haGeshem in the summertime there's no chiyuv to say anything. We don't ask for rain, we don't mention rain. If you say Moed HaGeshem in the winter, you have to go back. The reason is because it's Siman Klola during the summertime to have Geshem. So if you, after Pesach, if you made a mistake and you said the first day of Pesach we stop saying Moed HaGeshem, you say Moed HaGeshem, you have to be choizer because you said a Siman, you said a Klola. We don't want rain now. Now's not the time to rain. We want to have a nice summer. Spring, we don't want rain. So if it's within 30 days, we assume that you taka said Moed HaGeshem. You have to go back. But Medina say, in these countries, she'ein maskinin tal b'moisach hama. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped the words. In Mois HaGeshem, the fourth line, the beginning of the line, third word of the line. In Mois HaGeshem, in the winter time, so Gam King lachs at Shloshim Yom. From 30 days after Shmini Hatzeres, you have to go back if you didn't say, if you had a suffix. Because it's probably you didn't say, because you're used to not saying anything. But Medina said in these countries. In these countries, in the countries of Ashkenaz, the minig was she'ein maskin tal meisachama. They don't say Moed Hatol during the summer. So what did you say? You said nothing. So you have to be choizer. Kol shloishim yom b'cheskash lehizki loy tal v'loy geshem min hastam ad la'achar yom. Min hastam.
Ein tzarich lachas.
No, min hastam. Ad kan.
Oh, min hastam.
Yeah. Up until 30 days, the chazaka is in minig Ashkenaz that you didn't say anything. So you're going to have to be choizer. But however, everyone's sitting around the table who has the minig that we say Moed Hatol.
What are we talking about?
No, Mois HaGeshem, the winter season, after Tishrei.
After Tishrei.
Now we
so
went
why is it be Moisach Cham, you just said?
Since in these countries that we don't say Tal, we don't say Moed Hatol. Now today I was talking about minig Ashkenaz. Today most people say Moed Hatol throughout the summer.
But we don't say.
Oh, you don't?
We don't say nothing.
Okay, so
nothing,
it doesn't
zero.
Say. Oh, Baruch Hashem, so we have someone here who has taka the minig Ashkenaz, and this is the minig that Alter Rebbe is talking about your minig. That Medina is elu that we're not maskir tal. You don't say Moed Hatol.
Yeah.
So 30 days after Shmini Atzeres.
Oh, you told me now you go to Shmini Atzeres.
Yeah, it's a chazaka.
Oh,
if you don't know what you said, that you didn't say anything. The chazaka is you didn't say anything because that's what you're used to doing. A whole summer, you haven't been saying anything.
Correct, yeah.
So you have to go back. You have to be choizer.
Yeah.
After 30 days, in tzarech lach, so you don't need to go back if you have a suffix. Now, what happens in the middle of these 30 days? You didn't have a complete 30 days. You forgot to daven by mistake. You had an oinus. You didn't have a full 30 days of tefillas. So maybe my chazaka is ruined. I need to wait another day or two because I need to have a full 30 days of 3 tefillas, which is altogether 90 tefillas. Does there have to be a full 90 tefillas? Afil and Mushagak, even if someone made a mistake, or even Pasha, he was negligent.
Oh,
a day or two below Spalakai didn't daven at all, so he missed out a day or two of the chazaka. It does not remove the chazaka of the 30 days. It's enough that majority of these days you had this chazaka. Since after that you went back right away and you started davening again, so you sandwiched it. So you did the majority, and in the middle you had a day or two, so that we don't wreck it. We go by the roiv.
Where do you get
So the Maisa, those that don't follow your minig have a maila because they say Moed Hatol. So after, so by mistake, they said the mistake is that if they didn't have a suffix, they say Moed HaGeshem, what do they say? Moed Hatol. But the Yevada yoytz with that. But the minig Ashkenaz is what the Alter Rebbe is talking about your situation. Sif Yud Aleph. In B'Yoyim Rishon Shel Pesach. The first day of Pesach, the first day you start saying, you stop saying Moed HaGeshem, right?
Yes.
And according to certain people, you start saying Moed Hatol.
Yeah.
The Iker in the Kud is not starting to say Moed Hatol. The Iker is stopping to say Geshem. So what happens? We're talking about the idea he brought up of mentioning 90 times. If you say Birchas Ata Gibur, you start Ata Gibur L'Olam Hashem Chayim Mesim Ad Moed Hatol V'Ad B'Chlal. You read it, you say it. Either you say with Morid Hatol to get yourself used to saying Morid Hatol, or you don't say Morid HaGeshem like Minig Ashkenaz, like your Minig. You don't say anything. Tzaddik Pam 90 times in one day. Loimer Rav Lishim Morid Hatol, Rav Lishim Chalko Chaim. Ki'ilu Amar Kein Lamed Yoim.
Like he said,
You got used to saying it either with Morid Hatol or without saying. You got used to saying Shemoneh Esrei without it, like those people don't say it. So you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do it 90 times. So you have a free moment on the first day of Pesach. You could do it, and then you won't have any issues. If you wait for 30 days during the week, it's also the same thing. It's 90 times. You daven 3 times a day over the course of 30 days, 90 times.
Should a bit more because 18 Musaf.
Oh, remember, you're right. It's a very good question. I'm thinking the same thing. Shalos, what about Musaf? He has an extra 4 Musafs.
there's 4 Musafim for the Shabbos.
In the month, in 30 days, you have 4 Musafim. And you have a Rish Chedesh. You have a Chedesh also, so you have 5 Musafim. I don't know, it's a very good kasha. It's a very good kasha. So Ebazoi, you should have to say it 95 times.
If you already say 80, say 90.
It doesn't make difference.
90, you could say 95, you mean.
Yeah.
But the Shaila Taken in why he doesn't count the Musaf, you have to think about it.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this makes any sense, but before we said if a guy's a posheya and he didn't daven a couple of days or whatever, he was sick, whatever, so we say it's, you know, that it's a matzlacha on the shtais, you know, because he had the majority. So
Right,
we
okay.
would say the same thing about the musafs.
Okay, good idea. He doesn't have to have 95 kipshutim.
Maybe, I don't know.
Could be, yeah. Maybe the 90 have the roiv. Good word, good svara. And Al Tareb explains the idea behind it. V'im hurgul, the line starts with hurgul in Sifyir Aleph. Im hurgul kashem refuzarim kabochoyim mitzufin. He says the kabochoyim here. If a person's used to saying it spread out over 30 days. You daven, then you break till the next davening. You don't say it one after another. That's called mefuzarim, spread apart the tefillas. And after 30 days, we say you're accustomed now to saying this. Kabuchem v'shor, if you said it b'ritzufim, you said it one after another.
In one day.
In one day, it's good. If you don't remember his haGeshem, chazaka shalai yizkir. The chazaka is you didn't mention it. This is all talking about the first day of Pesach, getting ready for the summer. What about for a carrot hour situation? Or any of the days following. Oimer once said, Sadik pa'amim ato gibor. He said 90 times ato gibor. Ad uMorid haGeshem. V'ad b'chlal.
No, the way he said Mashiv haGeshem.
No. To say the whole pasuk.
Oh, I think you will let you
Ad gibor ad uMorid haGeshem, including it, and then you go back again and do it. We can
In
go
one
back.
day. In one day.
By the way, it doesn't talk about saying Shem Hashem here, but L'Poel is a Shem Hashem.
I just want to say...
Ataki b'lo'elam Hashem, right?
Yeah.
You have to say Hashem's name.
No, I just want to say...
How do you do
I
that?
don't know.
That's
I don't
in
know.
vain?
I don't know how you do it.
What I
Minig
heard...
Ashkenaz also says Ataki b'lo'elam Hashem. Nusach is with Hashem's name right in the beginning.
What? I don't
The
understand.
tefillah, all the just making sure the nusach. Ataki b'lo'elam Hashem. That's a nusach hari. Is that the nusach other nuschos? You say the word Hashem.
I gotta say, I don't remember.
I don't know how you do a thing Hashem. Maybe the fact you're saying a shevach to Hashem's name. It's not like you're
It's
saying
not L'shav. It's not L'shav.
Yeah, it's not l'shav. You're saying
I just
a
want to
shevach.
say what I heard this thing or
Right.
this song
Hashem.
was only on Simchas
just
Torah,
Ashkenaz.
not Pesach.
I have it here, Shmulik. He shows it.
Rabbi, only on Simchas Torah was this. I never heard about Pesach. You know
Because,
what I mean?
they don't dance.
Anyway, the story
Right,
I heard
right,
had
yeah,
to do
yeah.
with Mashiv haRuach.
I'll tell you why. By the way, there's a problem with with the story.
Yeah.
Because according to what Al Tareb is explaining, it's not enough that you just say the words Mashiv haRuach
Yeah.
again and again. You have to say from Ato Gibor.
Yeah.
That's what he says. V'cheini mishmini atzeres v'yimitaylik from Ato Gibor ad uMorid haGeshem lachal.
Hashem.
It's not enough you just said uMorid haGeshem. You have to say it in sequence to the tefillah.
That your lashon should get
Exactly. So that this Shiloh, what was probably going on according to another day of those people that this Simchas Torah HaKafas that he was recalling. Maybe there's other shittas, but according to what it says here, you're not yoitza. V'achakach nestapik im hizka haGeshem, and afterwards you forgot whether you were not sure whether you said chazaka shizkiroi. Agav, we don't need to do it for those. This is only Minig Ashkenaz would need to do this because others would say Moed Hatol, Svardim, and others.
It wouldn't be a problem.
Wouldn't be a problem because it'd be Yoitz B'Diavad with Moed Hatol. So we would only want to do it by Pesach, but the other way wouldn't be Negeya.
So how did you wait? What's
and here
what's
we
the
have in the
Gemara about the
parentheses.
Hashem? What do you can? What's your maskana? Gabi's mentioning.
Seems like it's
You were
no.
contemplating.
L'chor is a Shavach.
It's not L'Shem.
Not just stop saying Hashem's name. He's saying it like a praise. He's saying Ata Gibal Hashem. You're allowed to praise Hashem. I guess. I have to think about it. Be Meshabeach the Eibishter.
I know the Svardik poskim, they say like even they don't finish the pasuk. You heard about? You know what I mean? Like if a guy is Irish barabim and he could say like Adnis said, you know what I'm saying? I think so. I'm not 100%, but this is what I think. When I saw once in Rabbi Kaduri came and the ladies were singing, they say Baruch haba b'shem Hashem. They say the Shem.
Okay.
So,
You're saying it as part of a Shavach to the Eibush. I don't know if it's an issue.
If you're saying the whole pasuk, you can say Hashem Hashem.
Yeah, no, but I think that they have a head that they say even that. I have to check on.
Okay. In the parentheses, the Alter Rebbe does bring that there are those that argue with that you can do this, that it helps to do this. Some do argue that whether this Eitzah works. One should be concerned for their words not to rely on this. Someone who did do it, and after he had a suffix, miskin so allows he doesn't have to go back because the Iker halacha is like the Shita, not like the Cholku. So that's why we don't see people really doing this, not an Eitzah, but you know what, if you have someone that's very forgetful, I would advise him this Eitzah, because otherwise every day he's going to come into the Rav. So you need to give an Eitzah.
Do it one shot, that's it.
The Rav has to be practical. So you have to be practical, you have to know that even though it says Toiv Lachash like the Shita, for such a person, you should tell him to do it.
I would not know if you'd have the Oshmonas again, probably.
Okay. Now, Boisai, let's move to Kuf Yud Zayin. We are learning the Dinim of Haskara now. Now we're going to do the She'ela. It's in Siman Kuf Yud Zayin, which is right here, the same page. Don't turn pages. Same page. We're just turning to Shilam.
Oh, you have it on the other side.
Dini Berchas Hashanah. So you know what? We know the reasoning behind things. It's easier to remember the halachas.
Yeah.
So now that we discuss Mashiv hoRuach, we know if in the summer that there's a chiyuv to say Geshem. If you didn't say Geshem, you said by the Hatol, you yoitza. But if you forgot Geshem, Minig Ashkenaz, you have to be choizer because you didn't say what Chazal Mechayiv you to say Geshem, and you didn't say Meir Hatol, so you're stuck. On the other hand, after Pesach again, you continued saying Meir HaGeshem. You have no chiyuv to say Meir Hatol. But if you didn't say Meir Hatol, what are you saying?
After Pesach, you talk?
After Pesach, people who don't,
you don't have to say anything.
You don't say anything. But as someone who is who always says Meir Hatol in the summer, if he doesn't say Meir Hatol, what did he must probably say? He's not used to not saying anything. He either says Meir HaGeshem up until Pesach, Mashiv Meir HaGeshem with Meir Hatol. So if he didn't say Meir Hatol, he said Meir HaGeshem. You have to go back. Because it's a Siman Kalala. Not because it's a chiv to say Tal. So people make a mistake. They think it's a chiv to say Tal. Meir Hatol is not a chiv. It's a minik. It's because you're not supposed to say a klala.
A klala in the wrong
time. Exactly. So you have to go back to the beginning of the bracha. If you remembered, well, I just want to remind everyone, if you remember the middle of the bracha, you don't have to, you just go back to the beginning of Ata Gibur. You correct yourself. But if you finish the bracha already, then you have to go back to the beginning of Tefillah. Because the
Which
all
bro-
three
which bracha are you
brachas.
talking about? Which bracha?
But
The three
at the
brachas.
Gibber, yeah, the all three have to go back. If you remember the middle, you just go back to the beginning at the Gibber and you go back and say it on in the Ala Seder. But if you forgot after you finished the bracha already, now you made a mistake in the bracha.
So you have to redo it.
We do all three because they're all three one unit.
So you start from Baruch Hashem.
Yeah, all the way back from the middle. Yeah, you don't have to do 3 steps back and everything. You already did it. You just Baruch Hashem. Yeah. Kuf Yud Zayin. Dini Birchas Hashanim by Hey Sif. In Birchas Hashanim, it's a long sif, and we're going to break it up. Birchas Hashanim Sarach Lishol Babi Mati Beis Akshamim. In Birchas Hashanim, during the winter time, one needs to ask for matar. Why do we say it in this bracha? Same shal we have by Mashiv hoRuach, by haGeshem. Why do we say it in Dafke Mechaya Mesim? We said there's a kashem to Mechaya Tchias HaMesim and Gshamim. Gshamim are La'olam, and people that are at Tchias HaMesim, after Tchias HaMesim, were Chai La'olam. It's the Ingrid of La'olam. Why do we shoyel Gshamim Dafke in Baruch Hashem? V'torich Shi Parnasa, Kavu B'Birchas Parnasa. The whole year of rain brings us our parnasa. Everything comes from rain. All the sustenance comes from rain. How does the produce? How does everything grow? How do we have water? It's from the rain. So they put it into the bracha of Birchas Hashanah, which is about parnasa.
Wait, I'm sorry. Where was it?
Yeah, you could design.
Page Lamed Gimel.
The next page over.
Oh,
Next page
well,
over.
You don't have to turn pages.
Okay. Okay.
Same.
Okay.
Right over there. Right there.
Okay. Thank you.
Maschil Lisha Barat Yisrael, the third line. Milel Zayin Chesed.
Chesed.
We start from Zayin Chesed. You asked, why did we say earlier? She Eretz Harim. It's a land, a mountainous region. V'tzricha l'kshamim miyad acher hachag. It needs rain right after Sukkot. V'yara yilisha b'miyad acher hachag. She'ichra she'ila tesvam yam wait 15 days. Acher hachag k'dei she'gia acher shebi Yisrael she'ol regel base in the hapras. And Mishnah Maseches Tainis. We wait till the last Yid arrives at the Euphrates River. Shehi Mokim Yishu HaYoyser Roch Mishalayim. It's the place, the settlement, furthest from Mishalayim. V'lo yatzar haGeshem. haGeshem shouldn't stop him. Now we're after the Chorban, so what? Maybe we should start asking Yisrochad. There's no more Beis HaMikdash, no more Iliyah L'Regel.
In Eretz Yisrael.
Afla achar Chorban in Eretz Yisrael. We're all talking about Eretz Yisrael here. Chutz La'aretz we'll talk about it in a minute. After achar Chorban, are you misasrin gam came and called Yisrael the Regel k'moshe oisim gam hayoyim. Even after the Chorban, people didn't want to go away from this. There's no chiv ha'il regel. People felt so attached to the Beis HaMikdash. Even b'chorbanoi, they kept them being misasa. If we get together to go for the regel.
So going to Eretz Yisrael today for Yontif, those people who go here to hotel, maybe it has a shtickle kiyam of a
Yeah. K'moshe oisim gam hayoyim. They just those days that weren't coming from Chutz La'aretz.
You go in every year.
No.
Almost.
Lefichach le'batlu takanas chachamim shetiknu ha'sheilot of Hashem. Ad hayom in Eretz Yisrael, we're not talking about Chutz La'aretz, but in Eretz Yisrael itself, people flock to the Koisel on Chol HaMoed. People try to come there on Oil Regel on Yom Tov. It's a fact. People come there, they make a big, tremendous Birchas Koyanim over there, and then they have 50,000 Koyanim over there coming.
It's a beautiful Birkat Kohanim.
100,000 Jewish people.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So people try to come to the Koisel, and people still Adayoim. People feel an ingin to come Yom Tov, to come to the Oila Yira Kol Schorcha Es Pnei Hashem Alekecha, even though it's no chiyuv at all. So therefore, we remained the original Takanas Chacham in the Mishnah Tainis remained intact. That we don't ask until Zayin Cheshvan. Even though today we have cars and we have other things, but we keep it. We are into our customs and our cultures. Ube Bavel, the Olam wanted to know what do we do outside of Yisrael. Bavel v'kayotzeba,
like in America, yeah.
Like America. She'ein that it's hard to get not a mountainous region like Eretz Yisrael. We don't need rain immediately after Sukkot. Maschilin belal samech achar tkufas tishrei. V'yom hatkuf v'yom hashaylam hem bechlal hasamach.
What's it? Samach how much? How many days?
60 days.
That's we do in December, right?
That's right. And it's like we go after the Goyish calendar because the Yiddish calendar it depends if Cheshvan and Kislev are Malay or Chaser. We go by the Goyish calendar. We count 60 days from the equinox, which I don't know where. Does anyone know which day it is? September 21st.
It always will be December 5th.
No,
December 5th. Yeah.
no.
The equinox is
No, it fluctuates.
No.
4th, 5th,
You're
6th.
doing the fall equinox.
The leap year it's the 5th.
You're talking about the fall equinox.
What's the equinox in October? The winter equinox,
It's on
September.
the 20th.
That's the shortest day.
September 21st.
The 21st every quarter.
Oh.
Every quarter, it's always on the 21st.
Wow.
So you here now. You have to count 60 days
Before.
from 21st, from the 21st.
But Mashiv used to,
One second.
the
Same time, Martin Ruch is December 4th. So that's 6 days after the equinox. Which equinox are you talking about?
It became December 5th. It used to be 30 years ago, 40 years, to be December 4th, now it's December 5th.
So I don't know the cheshbon, the calendars. It has to do with the calendar. You have to be bucky. The lucha
It's to
is
do with the Goyish
the
calendar.
Goyish. It has to do with the Goyish calendar, how it's set up.
I want to say 60 days after the winter Tekufa, equinox.
When it starts the
The autumn Tekufa.
The fall. Not
fall.
the
Fall.
winter. Because the December 21st is after December
Right,
4th.
right. The fall. Tishrei. Tekufa's Tishrei.
But December 4th, 5th is not 60 days after September 21st.
In a chanami. So what's taka the word?
What does it mean?
I don't know. I don't know the cheshbon.
No, Chodesh, Chaser, and Mali. What does that mean?
Some months in the calendar have 30 days, some have 29 days. Chaser 29 and Malay is 30. Let's say Tishrei had Lamed Yomim. The way it works in the calendar is Tishrei is always a Malay, always 30 days. Tevis is always a Chaser. And from Tevis and on, the rest of the year, it's clear. Tevis is Chaser, Shvat is Malay. And other is Chaser, and it goes in a pattern. Chaser Malay goes in a pattern. Chaser Malay goes in a pattern till
What happened
Tishrei.
Shana Me'uberet?
The problem is only 2 months that fluctuate. Cheshvan and Kislev fluctuate. There are months. This is the way the calendar was set up. When the Zman there, Makadosh Apir Re'iyah, depending on the Eidim came, every month could have varied, could have been a Malay Chaser. It was up for grabs, depending when the Eidim came, when they said it was Makodesh. However, Lamaisa, with the Luach, the way Loch was set, is all the months of the year are established, besides for Cheshvan and Kislev. If Cheshvan and Kislev are both missing days, they're both Chaser, it's called a Shana Chasera. It's a missing. If they're both complete, it's called a Shana Tamima.
Yeah, like this year.
They're both Tamima.
385 something.
When Cheshvan and Kislev are both Malay. When Cheshvan is Chaser and Kislev is Malay, it's called a Shana Kisidra, because the entire month goes like a pattern. Malay Chaser, Malay Chaser, the entire year. Only those 2 months fluctuate. Once you know that, you know almost all the months of the year.
But
I don't know, you have a good cash, I don't know the exact Cheshvan, what's Pshat Kufas Tishrei, but it says that it's supposed to be 60 days after Tkufas Tishrei. It includes that day, and includes the day that we start asking. Nimsa comes out La'olam Beis Yamim Bein HaTkufa LaSheila. It's always
What does that mean here?
2 days
Of what?
between the Tkufa and the Sheila.
What do you mean
Shema
by Sheila?
Tkufa b'Yem Aleph. If the Tkufa, the equinox, was on Sunday, Sheila is going to be below Dalet. It's going to be on Tuesday night, which is 2 days.
That makes that was 60 days later it'll be Tuesday night.
Right. The Samach Yoim Elu in Menes Leis. You don't count it as a 24-hour period. I feel Nafla Tkufa b'Yoim, even if the Tkufa fell out, the exact Tkufa fell out during the day. Maschil Lisha Belel Samach B'Yoim Zeh. You start from the 60th of that night. So the Chorah the Cheshbon is, it's not the Goyish equinox. The Chorah is a certain Yiddish date for the Yom HaTkufa of Tishrei, and we count from there 60 days. That's
What
not
establishes
21.
The equinox has to be 50.
To look in Rambam. And Rambam in Hilchos Kiddush HaChodesh goes through the Tkufis. Take a look over there what he writes.
Complicated. But Tekufa means
Tekufa's
50-50.
Tishrei.
12 hours day, 12 hours night. Makes it the Tekufa's Tishrei.
Right, but the kufa starts like at a certain point. It doesn't start like it doesn't go like in the beginning of the night, the beginning of the day. You figure exactly the time. You divide the year into 4 parts. You divide the solar year into 4 parts. The solar year is not exactly 360 days. 365 days.
65 days. Yeah.
See, 365 and a half around.
Yeah, half, yeah.
So it's around there. So the cheshbon is not exact. It's not exactly. It's 90 days and something. When you divide up the solar year into 4 tkufas, it's 90 days and something. It's not exact.
And change. But all this is to understand when we start.
This is the sound when we start.
How do you put it on the calendar now?
Yeah.
It's not
It's a little bit confusing.
Now, Anu, us, we don't live in Bavel. Ready in the times of the Shulchan Aruch, right? We didn't live in Bavel.
In Bavel, they had the planting season at 6
Bavel
what
is
was
a valley. Is a valley. They had.
So when they planted over there, they planted and grew their crops.
They didn't need rain right away.
I mean, they needed rain in December.
Yeah, later on.
But in America, you don't need rain in December.
When do they need rain?
The planting season is in spring, I guess.
No.
They don't plant over here in America.
No one plants. You plant before the rain. You plant now. Now is when you plant, and you wait for and then the rain comes later. You have to always plant before rain. You don't plant when it's hot and they plant now. When they harvest later on. Listen, we have to ask the farmers, but it's for sure this way. There's no question about it. They don't plant. They plant now around this time.
Yeah, but it's all winter, snow, and
They plant before it starts to get.
and then it comes out of the ground by itself after the snow.
Yeah.
In springtime. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I
It
see.
needs rain to help it.
Germinate. I mean,
Yeah. So what do? We're not in Bavel. We're not in Eretz Yisrael. We anu tapa peishel madal min hagenu kim bnei Bavel b'chol makim. Wherever we are in the world, our minig is like bnei Bavel.
So why is it so important to follow the name Bavel?
Now, the problem is that l'chora, why should we always follow Bavel? Maybe our planting seasons are different than Bavel. So why should the planting season in Bavel was over 60 days after the Tkufa? So that's when you start. But we're in a different place. We're in America. Let's figure out. Let's call up the farmers, find out what they're doing over here in New York. In every Medina, we should.
What about Australia?
Maybe in New York, we should be different than California, and we'll get to Australia soon.
We'll
get to Australia. Okay, we'll get to.
Why do they have the same? They have to say
we'll get to the lower
exactly the same time.
We'll get to the lower hemisphere soon. That gets into another.
That's also a problem.
Right, but before we get to there, even here in New York, not the same.
It's not a planting season today.
So v'yeshatamu v'cholku alze. Some have a taina on this sheet of ours, this minute.
Yeah.
We always follow Bavel. We're in Chutz La'aretz. We always follow Chachmei Bavel. The Rosh said that's shkoyach. That's when it's psak halacha. Here, when something is telling the climate, why should we be following Bavel? We don't b'chlal think. We just follow Bavel. We have to look in every area what's necessary. The halacha is we have machloikis, Bavli, Rishalmi, we follow the Bavli. Chachmei Bavel. Those are our Chachamim that are in the Chutz La'aretz. And those are also the Chacham who are later than the Chachmei Eretz Yisrael. So Enechanami, the Rosh is masking that we always pass like Talmud Bavli. Everyone's masking that we always follow.
Talmud Bavli was before Yerushalmi, right?
No, Shalmi was before.
Yerushalmi was first?
In Eretz Yisrael, they made a Talmud on the Mishnah before they made the Talmud on the Bavli. It was much later, a few hundred years later. But we pass whenever there's a machloikis. We see the Yerushalmi says one way, Bavli says the other. We say the Bavli. Unless, let's say, it's not clear in the Bavli, you say we'll use the Yerushalmi to machriya. Einachanami zeu bedvar iser heter chiyuv pater to mutar. You know halacha. What's tamei? What's tar? What's aser? What's mutter? Avodavar hatoli b'tzayir chasha. Something which has to do with the time. Aim by shini lava de b'tzayir. It's not pshat. We're going against the chachmei Bavel. Roy leila chacha hashonim. We should go after the years. V'amakoyim is the places. V'azman shabavel shechenes my Bavel sits on rivers. Vein tzarich l'ksham ma'atzamach l'tkufa. Oy hoyazrem me'ucher. Or the reason was because Bavel, the planting season, was much later. So they didn't start asking till much later. hoRuach is in these countries, meaning in Europe, Shazman has zero mechat tishrei already from half a tishrei. From Sukkot's time and on. They start planting. If the rain doesn't come immediately, it's no good for the seeds. The birds, they will eat up everything. So what's the point? You need right away rain to come. There shouldn't be seeds anymore. It should start to grow.
You need rain to germinate the seed. The seed's going to germinate.
Why shouldn't we do like Eretz Yisrael?
That sounds more logical.
In our Mekoime, there's no machloikis in Bein Bavel Eretz Yisrael. Sheitnu elu tamad reim sholas l'kach, elu leis tam sholas l'kach. It's not pshat. It's a machloikis here. Bnei Bavel held one way, Bnei Yisrael held another way. Says the Rosh. No, no machloikis. Each one does like according to what their needs are. El Shabavel oy hayu oisin k'fiat tzarich lahem. Eretz Yisrael k'fiat tzarich lahem. So the same thing for us. V'chein b'chol Eretz shehirach v'zidayim, any big land, any large land, roy lasis bak k'fiat tzarich l'kula. We should do what's necessary for that land. Afilu lishol kshamim yimaisachama im tzrichim l'kula. Even we should ask rain, even the summertime if we need rain. Whenever we need it, that's what we'll ask. And that's what the Chacham, that Mokim Shekiveh, Chachmei Artis Abritz, Chachmei New York, should be Kiveh for New York. Chachmei California for California. Yes. The Chacham should be Kiveh in every place, like the Mokim said the Rosh. Very Geshmakatayna.
Do we see that? No.
8 minutes. Let's go further. We have to read it. We're going to continue. We're going to continue with the sheet of the Rosh. What happens? You have places that don't have their own. It's not their own land. It's a smaller place, not considered its own land. Are they allowed to be kivei of their own nusach? And koyim is that tzrichim sham meisachamo. Some place that need rain during the summer. However, ein the mikroim eretz b'fnei atzma. They are not considered an independent land.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Not Medina?
No, like a small island.
Small little place.
So what does it have to do with
a little yishuv, a settlement?
So what's it have to do with summer? I mean, summertime you need to have.
Explaining. Ki yichidim dami. This halacha the Rosh said that we go every place only applies to large land when he termed Eretz Rachvas Yidayim. You're not just is that we found a full Yidolach living in Rhode Island, we're going to be Kaveh. The Rhode Island should be different than the whole Eretz Sabris because they need rain then. We don't, they're called Yechidim. They're called Yechidim. Yechidim dami, they're like Veshoylin, Veshemei Tefillah. Ein Echanami, they need rain. But we're not going to change the Nusach HaTefillah. And they should ask for rain during their Shemei Tefillah. Everyone's allowed to add in private bakashas in Shemei Tefillah, Shema Kileinu. Shehu Makim Sheilas Kol Tzrach HaShalodam. Anything you privately need, you can ask in Shemei Tefillah. It's not considered changing the Nusach. Although Virchas Hashanim, in middle Baruch Aleinu and Rashoy, a person is not permitted L'shanes Matbeya at Tzibur to change the Nusach of the Tzibur for their personal needs. The lishal matter to ask for rain bisman in a time that most of that land that you're living in does not want rain. And not only that, in Tal V'Shol, they made a mistake and they did ask Berachas Hashanim. Machzina, so we tell them to go back and say Baruch Aleinu again, or Shemon Esrei again. Like any person who made a mistake in Shemon Esrei. V'gam b'Shemei Tefillah. This is all the Rosh talking. It's all the shita of the Rosh that every land is allowed to make its own shita. Kivei, what's good for that land? He's just telling you, even though I hold the shita, but doesn't mean every little shtetl could start doing their own inyan. A nice big chunk of land, you want a huge country, they could be kivei, a state, maybe a city. Just to say a little shtetl somewhere, they're not going to be able to, they can't change the nusach. Just because their little area needs rain. They could ask in Shemei Tefillah. V'gam b'Shemei Tefillah in Shoyl kol yochel atzmi zis lachash. Well, even say Talmud Tefillah Satzibish is also Shatz. And even those places that like are the Yechidim, these type of little places, they can't be Shoyl and Chazar as Shatz, only in their private Shemon Esrei. El Meratz l'fanav Yisbarech, what should they do if they need rain? We do a tainis, they should fast, do special slichis. V'zmoirim, certain kapitlach and psukim, a motto that mention rain, they should say these psukim before the Eibishter. And that will bring rain. Ve'ein hashliach tzibur, the shatz, the chazan should not be meshana, change, and matbei tzibur, loim v'feidish, is saying Talmud, even the Shemei Tefillah, you shouldn't say. Ad Kan, we just read now for 10 or 15 lines, the sheet of the Rosh, which sign is that this whole minig that we have, that we are just blindly following Bnei Bavel, and we are being shoyel mutter 60 days after the tkufa, the full equinox, does not make sense. That was in Bavel, because maybe that was when their planting season was finished, or maybe they didn't need rain up until then. But Lamaisa, every place should do what it needs. It's not a machlokes here. Bnei Bavel themselves would tell us, wherever you are, do like where you are. As long as you're a land for yourself. No. However, for some strange reason, the halacha is not like the Rosh. The Inyan halacha l'niskabel svarazu, the poiskim did not makabel the svara. The Yosef already brings us down. Shekarno gumayil, the minig is b'chol t'fut Yisrael, all of a klal Yisrael. Shebechutz Lars leilich acher b'nei Bavel. To go after b'nei Bavel, we do it 60 days afterwards. Although fizem eretz achas sichel kshamei sachama, and according to this opinion, this minig, even a land needs rain during the summer. I feel that even it's a huge land. It's like Germany, or Sfarad, it's like Spain. Filo aratzis rabbis rachvas yidayim. Even other huge lands, ki yichidim heim, they all consider like yichidim. They have no right to change the minig. It was shemei tefillah, and they could do in a shemei tefillah.
So what's the reason you can't change the minig? What are they worried about here?
Yeah, let's just finish up the sif, and I want to talk about this. We'll talk about this more. I just want to finish the sif, right. And Mitzvah Hashem, we're going to stop here for Ma'ariv. But Lamaisa, still in all, Hayois that there is such a shita, the shita of the Rosh. If someone made a mistake, and during those places where they need rain even during the summer, it's in Australia, in Brazil, South America, lower hemisphere, they need rain. Now they're starting their summer, and during their summer, or for Keret, during their winter, which is our summer, which the minig is that they still say, they say like us in our summer, they say the same Talmud. They made a mistake and they weren't shoyel. They don't have to go back because they rely on the sheet of the Rosh, but the Evid, that they wouldn't have to be shoyel. Or in a place where they were shoyel, or they were shoyel where we're not shoyel, like in the summer they were shoyel by mistake. You were shoyel, it's okay because the Rosh holds you could be shoyel. So in Mekol Mokim, still in Eretz HaAchas, third line from the bottom, Kula, if they had one big land, Sricha Lamot and Mesacham, it needs in the summertime, in our summertime, needs rain. So still no, they're not supposed to say in Talmud. They say the same bracha. That's the minig. They go like bubble. V'taba hayachid, and a yachid made a mistake. A single person. V'shal mat b'chasham. He asked for saying Talmud in the summer. Yachalis mechal svara zupedi yavid. Meaning mechuyev lachser. Ella only if rotza lachser v'spal tzolis adav. If you want to daven the Torah adav, a person's allowed to daven a whole day. You can have as many shmaneses as you want, but it's not a chiyuv. The Nadava, you're allowed to bring the Davis to the base to the Mizbeach. You can bring as many karbanos as you want as a Nadava. You could daven again and again, but not as a chiyuv. The ending after the parenthesis says, "Who adin baratzas eilu in our country." It's the same thing as Negea, very important for us to know. From now that we pass Zayin Cheshon, Rabbi Yisai, if someone made a mistake and asked for saying Talmud Mutter, you're not chayzer, because in Eretz Yisrael they already started asking from Zayin Cheshon. Who adin baratzas eilu ta yochid, the top of Shimon and Hey, v'shal Mutter v'Zayin Cheshon eiluchid m'choyim lachzer. Someone made a mistake now and said Baruch Aleinu, he doesn't have to go back. In Lamais, it's very hard to understand this minig. We know a lot of inyanim in halach, and some things in halacha that are not hard to understand, but the minig became this way. There's Kabbalah reasons. There are deeper reasons for things. So we don't have Alpin Nigla. It doesn't really make it makes sense. We should follow the Rush. But Klal Yisrael, the Gemara of Chazal say Loi Neviim Heim. If they're not Neviim themselves, Klal Yisrael, B'nei Neviim Heim, the children of Neviim, because we all come from Neviim, right? We have Neviim. So the Klal Yisrael knows how to mechav in Lamaila. What's the Ian? What doesn't make sense? It doesn't make sense lamata. But lamaila, the episode svara.
You don't want everybody
It's not
to
episode chas shalom or doing up something which is wrong. It's a shtus. This is a minig, and even though we can't make sense out of it, but there was one time a sicha. One time the Rebbe spoke a sicha, which is masham in that sicha, that the Rebbe really liked the svara derash. That's really how we should be noyik. And they used to broadcast. They was on the telephone. They were able to hear the sichas in foreign places. So the Bachram in Australia, they heard the Rebbe saying this to the Bachram. The Rebbe said the Rebbe kazak. So right away they already went to tefillah. They changed. So the Rav over there, Rabbi Groner, the Lubavitcher Rav, he was shocked. The minig hamokim, what's going on over here? He rather called his brother Rabbi Groner zaying to the Rebbe's maskir, the Rebbe's mashamish. He said, "Look what the Bachram are doing over here." The Rebbe said, and by the way, the next Shabbos, the Rebbe said a sicha. He didn't mean to change anything. He just meant to say that al pi seichel, this makes the most sense, the shita of the Rosh. But to make machloikis and change the minig, he never meant, and everyone should continue the way they were doing until then. Someone told me that I think in some Svedish kehilas that they don't do it this way. They do like the Rosh.
Do you have a chance to look at the halacha, what happened when I'll go from here to Israel or Israel here?
Yeah, so we have a very unique situation over here in our shir because Reb Shmulik is going to Eretz Yisrael now, and over there they're already shoyal, and not only will make complicates, and then he's going to be coming back. So what should he do when he goes there, and what should he do when he comes back? And furthermore, we have a problem that he is le'aleinu also a chiyuv, so he's davening for the Amid, and he wants to daven for the Amid Eretz Yisrael, and he's davening for the Amid when he comes back. So this complicates it even more. What should he do? So Lamaisa, before we get to a chazan, a regular person, there's a number of shittas. The Mishabura even brings 3 shittas, and he's not himself machriya who the halacha is like. There's a number of opinions what you should do. But Bekitzer, we'll just say over 2 of the main opinions. One opinion is that you should go to Eretz Yisrael. It's like when you go Yom Tif. When do you keep a second Yom? Depends if you have a mind to come back. Daiti lachzer. So some shittas say, go to Eretz Yisrael, the Pri Megadim, the Pri Chodesh say, you're planning coming back, so you're like you're here. You should continue not being shoyal. But obviously, as a chiv, you would have to be shoyal in the Chazaras Hashatz because you're davening for the call. You have no right. But that's according to that sheet. However, the sheet of the Birkei Yosef, the Chidah, and other poskim was that since you're now currently in Eretz Yisrael, you also need rain. Because temporarily you need rain. It's called Chayisha. Now temporarily you're in a makom that needs rain, so this is your needs also. You also need to eat there, you need rain, and you need rain is also a necessity. So the person who goes to Eretz Yisrael should be shoyal over there. It's not totally if daiti lachzer. You're planning on going back because you have chayisha. You should be shoyal. Shaila now is, so according to that sheet you have to be shoyal, you have to ask about the same talamater in both Shemanesres. Shaila is when you come back. So the Chidah says, he doesn't talk about your situation, but the Birkei Yosef discusses what happens if you, a Ben Eretz Yisrael, after Zayin Cheshvan, comes to Chutz La'aretz. So l'chora, according to Birkei Yosef Svara, there's no Chayisha here. Here in the Chutz La'aretz, you don't need rain. So you maybe should stop saying. He already started from Zayin Cheshvan. This is very negay, by the way, because in a week and a half, all the Chabad Shluchim are coming in, and there's the big contingent coming from Eretz Yisrael. They're going to come in. They already all said the same Talmud, started saying Zayin Cheshvan.
We don't start yet.
And what are they going to do when they come here? So it's clear from the Birkei Yosef, the Chidah Shita, based on other poskim also, that Kivan Shehischil Shuvani Poisik. Once you start at Eretz Yisrael, you don't stop here. But Kimuvan, if it would happen that one of these shluchim would be called to be a chazan, he can't say differently than over here. He can't be shoyal. He has the same bracha. But his tefillas yachid, he'll be shoyal. However, the shayla is, in a Shmuel's case, a little different. He's not from Eretz Yisrael coming here. He's originally Chutz La'aretz. He's going to Eretz Yisrael and he's coming back. Is that the same thing? Should he also continue like Eretz Yisrael or revert back to the original minig? The Lamaisa, the Chidah's reason what he brings, and the reason I'm being Ma'arif Dafka in the Chidah sheet and not in the Shita, it's totally in Daiti Lachsa, because the Rebbe has a letter where he says that the Ikra Shita is a Shita of the Birkei Yosef, and Reb Chaim also passed in that way. But other poskim, other people who have other Shita should ask their posik. Lamaisa, the Shaila is, over here, the Birkei Yosef only discussed coming from Eretz Yisrael to here, you shouldn't stop. Why? Because the Chuchav Tzlula, he says, you change in Nosachat Tefillah, you started to be Shayel, now you're stopping to be shoyal. What's a joke? You started to be shoyal, then not being shoyal. So you have to be mamshich. We just learned over here tonight that in Chutz La'aretz, b'di'evet, if you were started being shoyal from Zayin Cheshvan, it's okay. Because we also need rain here, Batsim. The sheet of the Russians, we should be able to be shoyl. We're not shoyl. The meaning is we do like Bavel. We wait Samach Yoim. But the B'diavad, if someone's saying Talamata now, he's Yoitze. So, but the Shaila is, so some of the Poiskim, the Kloisenberger Rebbe, as a Chayin al-Varacha, the Zatzal, the first one, he tainted that he doesn't, the Bikkur Yosef only said it about Meretz Yisrael to Chutzlarts, and he doesn't think if a Ben Chutzlarts went to Yisrael and came back to his original place, he feels that he should revert back to his original minig of not being shoyl, and it's not a chuch of a tzlula, it's not a joke, because this was his minig. It's not like Eretz Yisrael that he officially started.
Especially if he's down to them.
Lamaisa, because of your situation, and that you for flat your situation that you're dying for the ummah, if you're going to come back and continue saying the same talamater because you started, it's going to be very funny. For a full month, you're going to have to go back and forth from your private Shemoneh Esrei. You're going to be saying the same talamater because you started, and your Shemoneh Chazal Hashat. It's going to be very confusing. Doesn't make sense, and as well. Just on the way here, before I wanted to give it over, I discuss it over with Rabbi Morozov. He's the Marad Asra, so I called him up, and on the way we discussed the whole shaila, and he mentioned to me a svara to pass him like this. He said that the whole inyan of the shliach tzibur be'etzem, why does he need to have 2 Shemoneh Esreis? He's davening Chazar Hashatz. Let him wait, and he'll say 1 Shemoneh Esrei. Why does he have to say 2? But he should misader his tefillah, prepare for the second tefillah. So like the svara, the tefillas hayachitz misader, so you're going to say something which in misader something which is not what you're going to be saying in the. You're going to be saying the same talamot in the quiet Shemoneh Esrei. He added that into the bandwagon. So l'maisa l'chora, when you go to Eretz Yisrael, you should taka be shoyel, both in your tefillas yachid and your tefillas sibur. When you come back, just revert back to the matzah anyway. But those shluchim are coming here. Shetaka be shoyl.
But he wants to know for next year.
And Aga, by the way, I want to tell you, only by a chiyuv, b'chlal, this whole idea, and in your situation it works out, but in general, the shluchim that are coming here, if they're not a chiyuv, they should not go to the amid. They should dafke not go to the amid. It's clear that the Bikkur Yosef explains, it's only if someone asked you to become a chazan and you became a chazan, but you're not supposed to be a chazan. Because then, the shluchim that come here taka in their private Shemoneh Esrei, they have to say the same talamater. But if they're going to ask to be a chazan, he says, they're going to have to like the call. So it's going to be a modern thing. So the chatzchil, they shouldn't try to be a chazan. If the gabe asked and they forgot, now they came to Shemoneh Esrei. Tfilos lachash, they keep doing the way they were doing in Eretz Yisrael. But tfilos shatz, they have to like the call. You can't change.